started with this webinar. My name is Morgan Fitzgerald. I am the Email Marketing Associate from SimpleView's Email Marketing team, our Email Marketing Department. I'm going to be going through some of Distribion's reports with you today. The name of my webinar is Distribion Reporting the Right Way. I will take questions at the end of the webinar, so if you have any questions, just submit the questions via chat, and I'll get to those at the end. And then any questions that I need to do research on or double check about, I will be able to post those either on the user forum or I can email you directly because I can see everyone's email addresses. So let's go ahead and get started. So the Distribion reports that we are going to go through today are the user activity report, the global email overview. We're going to go through the tracking report from the global email overview, the client engagement, your unsubscribers report, your bounce contacts report, and then your template usage report. Some of these reports are very basic ones, and I'm sure you guys are able to figure them out on your own. But I just thought it was good to just, refresh everyone on how all the reports work, just in case, anyone has any questions about them, you can always refer to the webinar. So where to find Distribion's reports? You do have to be an administrator in the system, but you can always, if you are a standard user, you can always go to the admin and ask them if they can help you run reports, or if you're allowed to have administrative privileges, you can always come to me or Veronica if you guys don't know how to set that up and no one else in your office knows how to set that up. But you find the reports under the Administration tab, and then if you scroll down to the bottom, there's a tab called Reports, and then that's where all of them are listed. The tracking report is actually within your global email overview. So if you're ever in the system and you weren't the one who sent out that email campaign, but you want to view the tracking on that report, you can always go here to these reports and view the tracking for any email campaign sent out of the system. To start us off, we're going to start with the user activity report. This report, what you can do is you're able to click on whether you want your search to contain all users. You can make it specific to certain users, or you can make it specific to certain groups. This report is used to show what users are doing within the system. If you guys have bidbook in your system, it's also good to show how many bidbooks each user has created within the system. And we are actually going to get into our SimpleView demo system, and I'm just going to show you guys how to use each report and how to run each report. So with the user activity report, again, it was under Administration, Reports, and then you would just click on User Activity, and that would bring us here to this screen. This is where you're able to filter what you are looking for. So if you guys want all users, or if you have a certain user you want to figure out what exactly they're doing in the system, or a certain group, but we'll do all users. You do have to hit search before any of the users will pop up down here. But you'll see here it filters it by user, so by your email address or your user login. Veronica and myself, and then CRM is just our standard user. Veronica gets into the demo system the most. It'll show you the user's login between 30, 60, 90 days. It'll show you the emails, how many emails they've sent out, if they've worked on any surveys, also if they've created any microsites within the system. And then sales kits here. These sales kits are also called bidbooks. So this is going to show you how many bidbooks they have created within the system. So if you're ever going to you know, check up on a sales manager or see if they're sending their annual sales bid books out of the system, you can always come into the user activity report and, you know, you can view that here. It's nice because you can print this report out, you can download it, you can look at it as a spreadsheet file, so you can do a few things with them. But that is really it for our user activity reports, just kind of to see what everyone's doing within the system. So the next report that I wanted to get into was the global email overview. I think this is the most important report out there or in Distribion. The global email overview lets you view any campaign that was sent out of the system. So it's good to know, like if you're not normally the one who sends the email campaigns out, it's good to be able to go in there and view your tracking, see who the campaigns are going to, see who's opening the emails, and you can also see your total sent, like for the year or for that time span. You can, you know, you can separate it per operator and see who the email was sent by. And it's nice because I know in step 2, when you're actually sending your email campaign out, the name that's in your global email overview or in your tracking is actually where you put that in step 2. So that campaign name shows up in your global email overview. And then also you're able to view HTML or tracking of the email campaign. So we're going to get into this as well. Okay, so in your global email overview, it's nice because you can go in here and select your date range. So if you want to see how many email campaigns you guys have sent out for this year, you can go back to January 1st through today, and or through the end of August, and then hit update search results. And it's going to show you all of the campaigns that were sent out of your system in the past 8 months. Also, it's nice because if you want to, this is going to be for everyone, so if you want to do it for just yourself, you can go in here and type in your own email address in there. If you have a certain subject that you guys always use and you want to view all of the campaigns that were sent out with that subject name, you can sort it by that. You're also able to view the preview emails that people have sent out of the system. And then also, I know if when people leave your company, you can go and inactivate those users. And it's nice because those campaigns, if they're inactivated, they won't show up in this report. But if you click yes here, you can view any active or inactive users who have sent campaigns out. So that's kind of nice just in case you wanted to redo an email campaign that an inactive user did before. You can go see what they did within the system. So down here, once you have selected your dates and filled out your search options, these are all the campaigns that are within the report. It goes through and gives you the campaign name, which will also be the tracking name, and this is what you fill out in step 2, so this is where that name is going to show up when you're sending your email campaign name out. You'll see the date that it was sent, you'll see who it was sent by, and then you'll also see the operator. So, you know, I know we send out things, you know, on behalf of someone else. So you can also see who actually who actually did the email. If you scroll over, you are able to view the total sent for that campaign, confirmed open for that campaign. Also, people who received the campaign but did not actually look at the email or open the email. You know, the campaign type, deliver, unique clicks, or any emails that were returned or unsent. You also have the option up here, and actually in all the reports, to download these numbers and these reports here or print them out or anything like that. Down here at the bottom, in the summary, you'll see the total sent. So this is the total sent for this date range up here. So if you wanted to see how many email campaigns you've sent out for the year, or emails you've sent out for the year, you can view that here, total delivered, and you can see a percentage here, total viewed, also total no feedback, or total returned or unsent. So from here, it's also nice because you're able to view the HTML or the tracking for each email campaign. So the tracking is really important per each campaign because it's going to tell you who's actually looking at your emails or not. To get to the tracking, you would just go over here to Actions and go down to Tracking. Let me see. Okay, that is just saying the same thing I just said. So I already have a tracking report opened up here. I just took one out of our system. So going through the tracking report, it is of course going to give you the date and time that you actually sent out your email campaign. It's going to give you the number that you actually sent to for this email campaign. And then you'll have the returned unsent number, so the emails that were actually not delivered at all, and then your delivered number. So normally the delivered number is sent minus the returned unsent. Over here to the right, you'll have your view in full details. So this is nice because you'll get more details about this actual campaign. If you want to that email campaign. So that's always good to see. Down here under Delivery Overview, you will have your total number of delivered emails. So these emails actually went out and were delivered into someone's inbox. You have your number and percentage of confirmed open, so someone who actually downloaded the images or opened the email and clicked on something. And then you have your sent with no feedback. And your sent with no feedback, what that means is that the email was actually delivered to that person's inbox, but the person either didn't have their images turned on. So I know with Outlook, I can receive emails, but my images are turned off, so Distribion can't track that email. So like I still could have read the copy of the email, but I didn't technically look at it. So it was actually delivered, either people didn't have their images turned on, or they just didn't open your email at all. So that's the number there. It's also nice, you can click on Confirmed Open, and it will bring you to the bottom of the page, and then it's going to give you a list of all the people who actually opened and looked at your email. So you'll see over here the tracking image. So Adeletta opened our email and looked at it twice. And you'll see how many people actually viewed the email. And this doesn't necessarily mean that they actually looked at it 33 times, but they could have forwarded it to other colleagues or other coworkers, and they could have opened it and actually looked at the email. So it was tracked under that one person. Scrolling down a little bit further, you have your returned unsent. So these are going to be your hard bounces, soft bounces, skipped, manually unsubscribed. And I was actually going to go through, because I get a lot of questions from clients what exactly all of these mean. So hard bounces, when someone hard bounces, it means that the email address was a bad one and it was just sent back. When someone hard bounces in Distribion, they are automatically unsubscribed from the system, so they will no longer receive emails anymore. Also, when they hard bounce, it automatically, Distribion talks to CRM so that the CRM knows that it's a bad email address as well, and it's technically unsubscribed from CRM, but it would just uncheck the send to box. Soft bounce, this means that an email server was not accepting emails at the time you sent your campaign. So the email address is good. It just, the server was just unavailable at that time. Distribion does try back 3 times before giving up and, you know, not just giving up and not sending the email campaign. Nothing happens to this contact because it is a good email address. So I guess the thought process was that Distribion doesn't want to unsubscribe them because that could be a good contact and they could want to receive those campaigns. It's just their server was down at that moment when your campaign was sent. Skipped manually unsubscribed means that this address was manually unsubscribed from the system by either a system admin or by the recipient themselves through the unsubscribe form. And you can access your unsubscribe form at the bottom of your email campaign, or you know, maybe they access it from another site that has a link to that specific form. But basically, they manually chose to unsubscribe from that, either email campaign or mailing type or everything from your system. Also, there are a few other ones. Oh, and when, so a subscriber can be unsubscribed. When they unsubscribe from all mailing types, this is kind of like a hard bounce where if they unsubscribe from everything, it will talk back to your CRM and it will uncheck that send to checkbox in the CRM, so they will no longer receive any communication from you guys. But if you guys have a bunch of different mailing types set up within your system, and they only unsubscribe from one of them, it will not talk back to the CRM, but it just stays within Distribion, and Distribion will only not send them emails from that specific mailing type. So in order for it to talk to CRM, it has to be everything from Distribion. And then also, if you guys ever see a skipped, unsubscribed, previous bounce, these are addresses that were not attempted to be delivered regarding this campaign because they had previously hard bounced. So that just means that they were still in your contact list, but they had already hard bounced once from another campaign. And so they just are still going to be considered a hard bounce within Distribion. And it's always good to try to keep your list clean and try to clean up those hard bounces. I know if you are using the AutoSync, it does everything automatically for you. So it's a good way to have CRM and Distribion and sync in your list up to date. Oh, and then also you could receive a skipped domain unsubscribed list, and this just means that they cannot receive your email because the system administrator is not allowing emails to be sent through that domain. And I mean, I normally don't see that one, but just in case you guys do see that one. There's also a TOS complaint, and it means terms of service complaint, and that means that someone actually reported your email as spam. And what Distribion will do is that they automatically unsubscribe that person from all communications within the system. Okay, so let's continue on down our tracking report. So for click activity, what this is this is showing you what contacts are what your subscribers are clicking on within that specific email campaign. What you can do is when you're in step 2, sending your email campaign, you have a link tracking tab, and you're able to rename your links within that tab so that it shows on the tracking report as what you want. So we renamed a few links, booth number 604, or click here, register here. And we can go through and see what our contacts actually clicked on within the email campaign. I was going to show you guys, if you ever put in a bad link or a bad URL, Distribion does offer an emergency link change. And what you do is you click on the link that was bad over here and open it up. And down here, it'll tell you you need to put in your old link and then put in the new incorrect link, and it will replace that for you. But Distribion often automatically puts the link in there for you. And what I always do is I go to my HTML email and I click on that link and let it take me to the bad URL. And then I go and copy that URL and come and paste it here, because it has to be exactly the same or it's not going to work. So once you paste it here and then click or paste in your new link and add the link change, it will then change for all of that email campaign. So it'll automatically change that link for you. But just make sure that you go in and like repaste in the old link, because I know it doesn't work sometimes if you leave this, just won't replace it for you guys. Okay, so additional statistics. Unique clicks. Unique clicks is just the number of people who have actually clicked on a link within your email. And then the unsubscribe link right here, you'll see that it's also under click activity. But when it's under click activity, this is actually, you'll see that these numbers can be different, because this means that someone just clicked on your unsubscribe link. And then under additional statistics, it means that someone actually went in and unsubscribed from your mailing types and all communications. So, I mean, here our number is the same, but actually I've had a lot of times where these are different, where maybe someone is just going to look, or they actually, turns out they don't want to unsubscribe. So down here under search tracking results, what it's going to do is it's going to list out all of the information per email address. So what I've done before with my tracking report is I was scheduling my meetings for Summit, and I went up here and clicked on sent with no feedback. And I would go down here and download these contacts here, and then I would resend that email to them being like, hey, I noticed that you didn't schedule a meeting with me. Did you not get my email? Would you like to schedule a meeting with me? And so it's a good way to go and resend emails to people who you see didn't open your email, or maybe if you were sending follow-ups, you can go and look at all the people who actually opened your email and follow up with them. If you scroll over, it will give you their name, tracking images. Of course, I don't have tracking images because these are the people that didn't open it, but it'll give you their company, and then just other items. Also, it's nice because if you click on this little icon here, you're able to add or remove items. So if I don't care if they've soft bounced, or if I don't want to know if they're unsubscribing, but I want to know if they've clicked on register here, I can go through and select certain things to add to my download list, and then I can have that in my report. So you just click on whatever you would want over here, and then save changes. and this isn't a good example because no one clicked on this email, but basically it just adds the column over here, and then you can be like, oh, this person clicked on booth number 604 4 times. I might follow up with that contact and see what they're interested in and all of that stuff. So I think that is basically it for my tracking report. Let's go back to the PowerPoint. Okay. Okay, so my next report that I wanted to go through was the client engagement report. I have seen a lot of clients use this report for when they're wanting to do a re-engagement campaign. And because we're posting this presentation on the forum, I wanted to include this link where we got it from Litmus, and it's just a successful re-engagement, like 3 steps to successfully re-engage subscribers. So it's a good link, a good little article to check out. But okay, let's get into the client engagement report. Okay. So when people are using this to do a re-engagement report, what I've seen clients do is they go through, and if you guys have different mailing types, I've seen people go through each different mailing type to re-engage, contacts per mailing type, which is easier because you break it down. But say I didn't want, or I wanted to know who has viewed my emails 0 to 25% in the past year. And I only want to know what it is for my mailing type special announcements because I'm just okay. So what it's going to do is it's going to give me a CSV file of all of those contacts who have only viewed my email 0 to 25%, or viewed those campaigns 0 to 25% from that specific mailing type. So you'll see here it's giving me the email address, it'll give me the number of sends, the number of views, and then the percentage. And what's nice, because like when you're doing your re-engagement campaign, you would want to reach out to these people and just say, like, I notice you guys don't view my emails that much or that often. I really want to keep you guys involved. Like, you could ask them for suggestions of, what they want to see or what they're interested in, and maybe, create specific campaigns to what certain people are interested in, or you can, ask them if they want to stay subscribed or actually provide a link to have them unsubscribe, because it's actually better for your numbers to, if that person is still on your mailing list type but they're not opening your emails, your numbers are actually going down. So it's better to just have them unsubscribe than just keeping them on your list but not opening anything. So yeah, your your total number of contacts will decrease, but your percentages will increase within your tracking, and your percentages and your numbers will look better overall once you guys get this done. So yeah, it's always good to do a re-engagement report, but basically you would just take this list and you could upload it to your re-engagement report in step 3 within Distribion, and then send to these people and ask them to stay subscribed or just unsubscribe if they're not going to answer. And then also we do recommend if they, again, just don't answer, I would just go ahead and unsubscribe them from your list just so that they're not still receiving the communication. And then, you know, if they do want to go subscribe, they subscribed once, so they can always go back to the same place and resubscribe. Okay, but yeah, you would just download your CSV and it would bring you your Excel sheet, and then you could take that and actually create a new contact group, or you could just upload it right into step 3 when you're sending out your email campaign. Okay. And check out this link. It is a really good link to a really good article to just, you know, help you understand what exactly a re-engagement campaign is and why you would want to do it. Okay, so our next report is the unsubscribers report. It's a report that shows you which contacts have unsubscribed from the system. You can run the report to view when contacts unsubscribed and from what mailing type. And then say someone asks why they aren't receiving an email, you can go here and, you know, say, well, you unsubscribed on this date, and that's why you're not receiving it. So if we get into that report here, what you would want to do is you would want to go through and filter out your options. So you guys could do any digital marketing. If you have your different mailing types, if you want to know who unsubscribes from webinars, you would just select that mailing type. You can do it per contact group from within the system, or you could go through and just go ahead and do it system-wide. You could go back a certain number of days if you want to see within the past year who's unsubscribed, and then you would just click on Apply Filter, and your list would appear down here. So basically, it's going to give you the email address here, and then it's going to tell you the mailing type that they unsubscribed from. So it'll list out each mailing type that they unsubscribed from, and then also it'll give you the date that they did it, and I guess how they did it, if they manually unsubscribed, or if it was a hard bounce, it would be automatic. It'll give you the campaign from which they did it, if they actually clicked on the unsubscribe from a campaign. It gives you the URL, and if we scroll down, it'll just give you their first and last name. So, you know, if someone's ever asking, or if you just wanted this list of people who have unsubscribed, you can go to your unsubscribers report. Okay. So the next report that I had was bounced contacts. This is interesting because what it's going to do is show you the top 5 hard and soft bounces from within the system, and then it will also show you the top 5. It'll show you the domain who had the most hard and soft bounces. So it's interesting to see, you know, which domain actually had the most hard and soft bounces. What you would do, though, is you would filter, of course, filter your options again. You can filter it so you're getting both hard and soft bounces, or if you just want one or the other. You can do, you know, per campaign. So if you guys wanted to see, like, which one's hard or soft bounce from your specific campaign that you sent out, you're able to do that there. You can do a date range. Maybe if you had a specific address that you were looking for to see when they hard bounced or if they hard bounced, you could type that in there. And then you would just apply filter, and you'll see the top 5 hard bounce domains. You can just view that in here, and it'll give you a little pie chart over here, and then the top 5 soft bounce domains, you will be able to view that here. if you wanted to go down here and view the list, it'll tell you, you know, the type of bounce that they had here and then what the server response said. So I know when people ask us, you know, why did this person hard bounce, and they come to me or Veronica, we can actually go in here into your system and get what the server response said and then take that to Distribion and be like, this is what the server said. Do you, can you figure out why, you know, they hard bounce or why they soft bounce? But you can download that here. And I know one time we've had, for some reason, I've had clients where AOL wasn't accepting emails, but it was, you know, ended up being over a long period of time, and we can try to research that. But we viewed that AOL was soft bouncing all their emails from this report here. So it's a good report if you want to just see what's going on with your hard and soft bounces within the system. Okay. So our last but not least report is the template usage. Basically, this report is used if you want to see which templates you and your users are using the most and when they were created. It is in the same area. You would just go to administration, reports, and then template usage. You can select the date between when they were created. So if you want to see the templates that have been created over the past 5 years because you guys want to do a redesign and you want to, you know, redesign all of your old templates, you can go in here and go look at all of your old templates and see which ones you guys can keep for the next 2 years or which ones you need to change now and go ahead and redesign those templates. But just filter out the dates that you want, and then down here it will give you your template name, your category, the date it was created, who it was created by. If you've gone in and modified the template, it'll tell you, you know, the date it was modified and who it was modified by. And this is also good. So if one of your templates was working last week, but now this week it's not working and you haven't touched that template, you can always go into this report and you know, look up that specific template and see who modified that template and who maybe broke your code or anything like that. So it's a good report to have. You can see how many times the template was used and last used by and anything like that. Again, you're able to come over here to these icons. You can print it out. You're able to download it. But yeah, it's a good one to have just so that if you guys are ever wondering what's going on with your templates, you can come here. Okay, so I just wanted to say thank you guys for attending my webinar. I will be on for the next 15 minutes if you guys have any questions, and feel free to type them in the chat at the right side, on the right side of your screen. Thank you.